Today we are going to talk about gender roles in children's television shows. Why is it important to recognize gender roles? As growing kids, it is important for you to make informed decisions and become media literate. This means that you need to know about all the dangers of the media landscape and the way big corporations and television shows can try to impact your decisions. If you can recognize that gender roles exist and are prevalent in your television shows, then this is just one way you are becoming more media literate. So what is a gender role? A gender role is when a person is expected to act a certain way based on their gender. These expectations are set by society standards and norms. Some common male characteristics and gender roles include being masculine, being an authoritative figure, being athletic, being smart. All of these characteristics can translate into roles such as a police officer, a firefighter, a doctor, or a lawyer. Some common female characteristics and gender roles include being feminine, being obsessed with appearance, being domestic, being weak, and having no authority. These characteristics can translate into roles such as a stay-at-home mom, a nurse, a secretary, or a teacher. So why do gender roles show up in our television shows? Gender roles appear in television shows because they shape the role the character will play in the show. Gender roles don't just show up in our television shows, they show up everywhere. It is important to remember that gender roles happen in real life too, not just on the screen. Time for an activity. Are there any examples of gender roles being shown in this picture? Yes. If you said yes, this is an example of a gender role, then you are right. This is an example of a gender role because Miss Piggy is shown as a very feminine character who is obsessed with her appearance. While in the show, she shows a mixture of breaking stereotypes and conforming to them, she ultimately is focused on her appearance and feminine characteristics. Time for another one. Are there any examples of gender roles being shown in this picture? No. If you said no, this is going against gender roles, then you are correct. Psy Girls is a great show that breaks down gender roles and stereotypes. The main character is a female scientist who looks up to her role models, which includes other female scientists. Why do gender roles exist in children's television? Children are the ultimate consumers. Their brains are still developing, which means that they don't have formed judgments or ideas yet on certain topics. Big corporations and television shows try to influence the developing brain, forcing judgments and ideas into their heads through the media landscape. Do gender roles have an impact on you? Television shows have the ability to skew your thoughts on certain jobs males and females should have, the way they should act, and how they portray themselves to others. It is important to remember that the television shows want you to think these things, so it is important to recognize the gender roles that are exhibited in the shows you are watching. It is important to remember that just because the television show portrays a person a certain way, doesn't mean that that's how you have to be. Are they getting any better? Recently, gender roles have shifted in television shows because many more parents, and children's advocates have become aware of these gender roles happening. There are many new shows that show female characters in power and male characters in different professions such as teaching and the arts. Tools to help you and your family. Luckily, there are many tools out there to help you and your parents navigate the challenging media landscape. Common Sense Media is a great online website that gives reviews and ratings of movies and television shows, so you can see if the show is a good fit for you or not. Ask questions. If you aren't sure if the television show is showing gender roles, ask your parents or guardian and become informed. If you do all these things, then you will become more media literate.